Good morning. It's another Thursday morning and a lovely morning down here in Tauranga. We have brilliant weather, but soon it will become winter. You can feel the chill early in the morning. But this morning, not to chat about the weather, but more about cars. Estienne, good morning.
Good morning, Jan.
How are you this beautiful morning?
I'm great, thank you. Just
So,
enjoying the last bit of summer.
oh yeah, that'll soon be past, eh?
Yes,
So
unfortunately.
then we're back
Wasn't a
back
very
in.
long summer this year.
Yeah, we had a wasted summer this year, but well, it has to be.
Yeah,
So you're in the car trade.
that's right.
So what do you do in the car trade?
We are a car buying service. So we a mobile car buying service. So if you go on our website, you'll see that you can submit your vehicle details to us, and we then receive it on our CRM system. We look at the details on hand, and according to the details, we make an offer on your car. We send it out via text message to your phone, which you can reply to if you want to proceed. And if you proceed, then we will come out to your house. We will evaluate your vehicle, and we will pay you on the spot and take it away. And that then goes to our warehouse where we work from in Auckland East, and we distribute the cars from there. So we do a lot of wholesaling where we sell to other car dealers, and we also do retailing, so the selling of cars to anyone who's in the market at reasonable prices, better than what you would get from a conventional car yard. We've sold to many fellow South Africans before who's arrived in the country or due to arrive in the country, and we usually have something for every budget, and we can finalize a deal and deliver the car to the airport as well if necessary.
All right. So you will basically, if somebody buys a car from you from South Africa, you will get them on the airport.
Yes, absolutely.
They will save the rental car fees and those type of things that you normally struggle with. They will save that
Yes,
as well.
yes, and that's
Okay.
usually quite a bit.
Mm.
Yeah.
And if somebody, let's say, flies directly into the airport, but then flies out, let's say, to Hamilton or Tauranga, would you be able to drive the vehicle down there for them?
Yes, there's always plans that we can make.
Okay.
We can arrange stuff like that. There's various ways to transport the car down. Yeah, absolutely.
And then this buying of cars, do you just buy out of Auckland or all over?
Mainly Auckland at this stage, because it's quite a busy market in Auckland, and we are still increasing our purchases numbers
Okay.
every month, just within the Auckland area. So we plan on expanding outside Auckland, and we do purchase outside Auckland as well, but just a not really mobile service. Our mobile service operates within Auckland.
Yeah. Something else that I want to ask you regarding the financial side of things. Is people now starting to sell the vehicles because they're financially in trouble or not?
Yes, yes, we do see that a lot, and people downgrading to cheaper cars.
Okay.
I think most of our, or not most, a big part of our customers who sell to us at the moment is actually people moving to Australia, believe it or not.
That's a new thing now, eh?
Well, I think that's got to do with the latest government.
Yeah.
But so definitely some people who's felt the pain over the last few years that need to get rid of their cars. Yeah.
Bit of the credit crunch now coming back and
Yes,
biting them. Yeah.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
what is the average size car that you find that the South Africans normally buy?
I think 80% of South Africans ask me for a Volkswagen Golf, and I then highly disregard that car in New Zealand. So try and convince them to get them rather into something reliable, because we also don't like to sell unreliable cars like that.
Now, with saying that, sorry for me chipping in here. Most of the South Africans in South Africa's hair will be standing like this when you say a Golf is unreliable in New Zealand. Why do you say that?
I'm not sure, Jan, because I have to be honest. They are good cars in South Africa, and I was also very surprised when I came here at first. I don't know if it's got to do with the climate or if it's got to do with where the cars are manufactured or how the roads in New Zealand are, up and down and curly but the DSG transmission in them just it doesn't last.
Okay.
And it's quite an expensive repair, so we try and avoid them, to be honest, unless it's a manual transmission. But a manual in New Zealand is very rare, so
you'll buy it just out of the rarity of that.
Yes, it's worth more than an automatic, definitely.
There's a question on the other side. Vanita Herman's just asking, except everybody else that's saying good morning, is there a shortage of second-hand cars?
Yes, COVID did create a bit of a shortage, just because the demand for second-hand cars went up a lot. And I think that's due to a combination of things. Firstly, the new car market that was under pressure. Then they couldn't provide enough new cars, which people then went over to used cars, and obviously money, recession and stuff that also pushed it up. But I don't think people need to be scared of that. It's there's still enough cars around. We can help almost every customer with a car, unless they want something really specific, in which case we can also refer them to some other car dealers. So I don't think that's something to be concerned about. But yes, I think it's mainly because cars are selling so fast, so dealers can't really keep up.
I just struggle to find this whole COVID thing. I'm not saying COVID's not happened. We had a lockdown of 2 to 3 months, basically. But the car dealers are basically a year behind.
Yes.
This doesn't make sense to me. What happens?
Yes, if you have to close down as a car dealer for even a week, it's a big punch for us to take.
But I'm meaning new car dealers. Walk into Toyota and say you want a Land Cruiser. You'll have a 6 to 9 month waiting period.
Yes.
But we're only closed for 2 to 3 months.
Yeah, it's mainly got to do with COVID and offshore, so where the vehicles are manufactured. So I think they had much bigger staff shortages or closing times than we experienced here in New Zealand. And because we are on the far end of the world and the smallest market in the world, we got the cars last. So and yes, Toyota that you mentioned specifically is a very popular brand. So they just literally cannot keep up with the high demand for their cars. There was a stage where people bought brand new cars and then sell them literally for a profit, to someone else, just because there's no new car stock available, and it's still like that on certain models. But I think that's getting better.
That's right.
Yeah.
What other cars that I should stay away from when I come to New Zealand?
Well, I think there's a few, and there I'm back. People need to they welcome.
All right. You're cutting out a bit. I don't know if it's a bit of a.
Are you there? Yeah.
Yep, I am. Yeah, I can hear you better. Yeah. All right, let's just start that from start
There's
off.
definitely a few cars. Yes.
Yep.
There's literally quite a few cars that you would have to avoid, and I always say to new immigrants, like, advice is free. Feel free to call us and ask us, hey, I'm seeing this car at another car dealer. Should I buy it? Yes or no? And we will say absolutely or no, avoid it because of these reasons. We don't mind giving advice. These cars like Mazda, any Mazda diesel car is a red alert, not a reliable car. And there's a few I can name up like that. I would say Mazda probably the only Japanese brand that you need to be a bit wary of in terms of their diesel cars, but mainly European cars. I see too many immigrants coming, and then they want to buy a nice car because they times their salary by 10 or 11, and they think now they rich that they move to New Zealand. And they can buy a cheap European car, which is a nice car, but the reality is that you will double the cost of that car within your first 1 or 2 years of ownership, just through maintenance. So I always say, just reach out to us, even if you just want some advice. We even if we don't have the car to sell you, we will definitely be more than happy to help, and we've done that to many new immigrants.
A question that somebody said: what car would you say is reliable in New Zealand? So,
yeah, Toyota. I think most brands has got some reliable cars in their lineup. There's just specific models that in between that I would say is very unreliable, or a problematic gearbox which gets rolled out in a few models, and then obviously need to avoid those. But yeah, most of the Japanese brands are very reliable, and I'd always say that's a good point too. That's a good first car if you arrive. If you don't want to struggle with maintenance or additional issues when you've just immigrated. So
here is one of that South African questions that they want to ask you. Is it worthwhile to start off rather with a Ute than a family car to start off with? I think you just want to buy a Ute.
Yes, Utes are pretty cheap at the moment. With all these new laws and stuff regarding clean car tax and the price of diesel, which is now the same as petrol, plus you have to pay road user charges on top of that. Utes has taken a dip because I think mainly only people who really need them, like farmers or construction workers and stuff, are the guys buying Utes. But the average person in on street towards driving around town with his new Ford Ranger, those people are becoming less and less. So no, I wouldn't recommend to buy a Ute as your first car unless you need it for a specific purpose.
Yeah, this is something that a lot of South Africans don't know about is RAK. And
Yes.
RAK is a tax that you pay on top of if you have got a diesel vehicle. And that
Yes.
costs about $800 for 10,000 kilometers.
Yes, that's right.
So that's an added extra that you that you don't really think of when you start off buying these vehicles. So
so that's for any diesel car, not only Utes.
That's right. Any diesel car. Yeah.
They want people to go electric.
The next question is, morning, what hybrid EVs should you avoid? All of them?
That's a good question. I think where my personal opinion is, for now, a full electric car is not yet the right time to buy it. I see people buying Teslas and all these fancy new electric cars. The market is not used to them yet. They don't know what the second-hand value is. People is scared of the batteries, if the batteries go, so when you drive a brand new electric car for a year or two, you're going to lose a lot of money. But hybrid cars is a fantastic option, I'd say. And there's a few very good, reliable hybrid cars on the market. There's some Ubers that we get into, and I see this Toyota Prius has literally done 500,000 kilometers, and they are pretty reliable just due to the fact that you've got both a battery and the engine, so you're not relying fully on batteries or on an engine only. So you get much better fuel consumption, and still.
Is the fuel consumption that less in a Prius? I don't know, because I've never had one. So I'm talking out of a.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a small car, the Toyota Aqua, or the New Zealand news version is called the Prius C. That's a small compact car, hybrid car. We've had some of them that we used within our business as well. And I can tell you those cars are very good, bulletproof, and you can expect and realistically get more than 20 kilometers on a liter, which is great.
Okay. And what does the Aquas cost second-hand roughly?
You get them from about 2012 upwards. So obviously, the older you buy, the cheaper it gets. I think it'll start from anything from around $7,000 or $8,000 upwards.
Really? That less?
Yeah. So you can probably get a 2013 model with 100,000 Ks for $8,000 or $9,000.
And then that batteries is still got a good distance to go in them or not?
They are very reliable, but the nice thing is that they do get issues, but there's now companies who's made it really cost effective to repair these batteries.
Okay.
So they, instead of replacing the whole battery system, they replace individual cells. Which makes it much more cost effective. So not something to be so scared about. And you can scan the batteries through a computer beforehand, and it will exactly tell you the state of health of the battery before you purchase the car.
Here's a question. Is there a disadvantage to buying the imported vehicles, those ones that comes on the ship?
I think the only disadvantage with imported vehicles is that you don't really know the full history of the car. So usually the imported vehicles don't come with a lot of service history, like South Africans is used to a car with books, and yes, you can save a lot of money by buying an import, and there's some very good ones as well. You just have to basically get it checked out, and make sure, you can get a pre-purchase inspection done on the car with people that comes out. They check literally everything, and if that report is good, the car is most likely good, and then you buy something for a better price than what a New Zealand new car would cost.
Okay. Question from one of the other channels just asking, Andre Brits is asking, why is after sales service such a huge problem in the car industry?
I think it's got to do with staff shortages. We're waiting for all those, all the rest of the fellow South Africans to come and help us work here in New Zealand. It's a combination between the locals, that is, island vibe here, and a bit slow from time to time. And I can't really say, because our after sales service is excellent.
Yeah, it's good to know. If you need good after sales service, then just go to Your Salesman. Another question on car: what is a crossover availability, and would it be a good idea? The dog needs to fit, so somebody needing a bigger car.
Oh yes, there's lots of different crossover type vehicles. Absolutely a good idea. Just don't buy a VW with a DSG gearbox or a Mazda diesel, and you'll be fine.
So that's the two big problems.
Toyota makes quite a lot of very nice crossover vehicles, and Honda as well. Absolutely, there's some funny cars here as well. The imported Japanese import cars is cars. Some of them are cars that we don't really know the names of and stuff, but actually very nice little practical cars if you need that space.
Somebody just asking regarding a Subaru Hybrid XV. Do you know these cars? Are they any good?
Yes, I know them. Yes, they are good cars.
So
we've not had any issues with Subaru or Subaru hybrids. I would definitely rate it.
Okay, I've seen where some of these Subarus travel on the beaches and these type of stuff. If these cars are if they can keep going, they're quite tough cars, eh?
Yes, and most of them is always all-wheel drive as well. So that's their thing, and very nice cars to drive.
Just somebody just making a statement. Mariska Fourie saying in New Zealand there's a lot of 7-seater cars. That's probably a thing that most of the South Africans look at when they arrive with their kids down here. That mum's taxi.
Yes,
which 7-seater would be the best for them?
I would say probably the most common one is like the Mazda Primacy. What else? Yeah, there's lots. There's lots of 7-seaters. Even small minibuses like a Nissan Serena.
Oh yeah.
The Toyota Velfire. There's lots of options, and good ones as well.
Okay. Is there anyone particularly that they must avoid?
No, just like I said, if I wouldn't buy. I keep on saying Mazda diesel, but if it's a first family car, I wouldn't buy any diesel really. If you get a Toyota Algorand or, even a Mazda Primacy petrol, they are good cars. There's various different models in every brand that makes quite a lot of 7-seaters. So there's a lot to choose from, and like I say, just do your homework before you just go ahead and buy. Don't buy a car because you've just arrived and you are under pressure and you need wheels. We are just a phone call away. Just call us and ask us, and we'll just say yes or no, even if you don't buy. I don't like seeing people, getting bitten in the ass.
Yeah. Especially when you arrive from South Africa, there's a lot of models and stuff that you haven't got the faintest idea what you're looking at.
Yes, you only know the badge, and the rest is all foreign. Yeah, but there's good ones in between there.
All right, there's a question. How long after you buy your vehicle will you receive your registration documents registered in your name?
We here in New Zealand do everything online. It's very simple and easy. If you buy from a car dealer, the car dealer will do the change of ownership online. Yep. You don't have to do anything. You just provide your driver's license and your address, and we register it in your name. You can straight away after that verify online that the vehicle is indeed registered to your name. And then within 7 days, you will receive a letter in the post from New Zealand Transport Agency to also confirm that there's a vehicle registered to your name. So that's not a big headache. Change of ownership is very easy.
This could probably be out of your field, as I know you don't really do new vehicles, but we're asking the Haval in New Zealand, how reliable are they, and are they really cheaper down here?
Yes, I think it's a value for money vehicle if you want to buy something new with a warranty and have all the latest technology. Definitely, it's not a bad car. We've had some of them. We've not had any issues. Obviously, a cheaper car like that won't age as well as some other more expensive cars, if I can put it like that. But yeah, it's definitely value for money, and it's not bad. Even SsangYong is not a bad cheaper brand, if I can call it that.
I've had 2 SsangYongs and I can't really complain about them. So
yes. I rate them better than, for example, the GWMs, the Great Bulls. And Mahindra as well. Mahindra is not bad either.
All right. I don't see a lot of Mahindras on the roads, by the way.
Yes, it's not so. There's not so many over here. I think the ones that you will see is mainly Utes, Buckies. Yeah.
Buckies.
Yeah.
All right, we've got. Okay, I'm going to skip the car finance story this morning. Last question. I think we could have got a chance for last question. Somebody just asking, what about the Nissan Algorand?
Yeah, very good.
You'll buy that?
I'll buy that. The only thing you need to check out for, and this is not only in the Nissan Algorand, that's in most second-hand cars, is the CVT transmission. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but if they were not regularly serviced and looked after, then they can give issues. And the Algorand does have a CVT gearbox. But just drive it until it's nice and hot. Like drive it for at least 30 minutes. If the gears changes smoothly and it's at optimum running temperature, and everything runs as it should, then most likely the vehicle's all good. Or, like I said, get a pre-purchase inspection done. These guys who specialize in checking these cars out on behalf of people who want to buy them.
All right.
Third parties, yeah.
Estienne, you can arrange finance for people as well?
Yes, we can arrange finance. There's we've got in-house finance, and then Sterling Finance is a company that specializes in vehicle finance for immigrants. So I usually refer the new South Africans to them, because I just find that they can offer, they get very good deals. I think they've got special arrangement with some of the finance houses. So even if you're on a 3-year work visa working towards residency, you can get finance over 5 years at a normal rate. So which is great. Finance is pretty easy. You can get approved just with a work offer and valid visa. So
okay. All right, our time has come and gone, but as you can see, people wants to know who you are really, and they want to email you and phone you and so forth.
Follow us on Facebook, Your Salesman.
All right, guys, you got that. I'll take the link and I'll distribute this on the pages. So yeah, Estienne, thanks a lot this morning.
You.
It was wonderful to
Thank
have
you
you
for the opportunity, Jan. Yeah. That's great.
Thanks for helping the South Africans out with the car purchase.
Absolutely. No worries.
I got to say, you are also from South Africa and you can speak Afrikaans as well. So
I can Afrikaans praat, ja.
That's sometimes important. All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jan. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Estienne. I'll just pop you out. Cheers. All right, guys, that was Estienne from Your Salesman. Sorry, Your Salesman. I got to get that right this morning. Selling cars in Auckland. And yeah, that's us for this morning. Same time, same place next week. See you all.
Thank you.